just I will take few minutes on the PPT. There is a concept of linear regression, right? Linear regression means a linear relation. Simply, I can draw a diagram so that you can understand. Linear regression simply want like this is the x and y, my x and y, and there is a relationship like this, linear relationship, and the values are something here and there, right? So this is a kind of linear regression, a linear correlation we also say if we are talking about the linear correlation, right? And this is my positive, and if the diagram is in the negative, sorry, if the correlation is negative, so it will be like this one, x and y, correct? So it shows the negative correlation, and this is my positive correlation. Very basic things are all this. All right, now there is a concept of bivariate regression. In the bivariate regression, we will take first of all enter method. In the bivariate, we have the one independent variable and one dependent variable, right? We will have one independent and one dependent variable for the bivariate regression. For the multiple regression, you must have more than one IDV, right? And one DV is of course there, but all should be in the metric scale. So simple formula, simple rule is there. In the multiple, you must have more than one IDV. In the bivariate regression, both are in only one independent variable and dependent variable, right? Now there is another method of okay. Now there is another method of stepwise method. Stepwise method is usually take in the to remove the multicollinearity from the regression, right? So actually stepwise method is very useful if you want to remove the multicollinearity very easily, because otherwise you have to do some lot of tricks and some methods you have to apply removing the multicollinearity. So researcher usually use the stepwise method, right? So again the criteria is same because this is a multiple regression, so we will take the more than one IDV and one DV. Of course this method use the variable one by one and give the best model. Of course we will take this method to remove the multicollinearity at the end of the today's session, right? So now let me first of all open my regression and multicollinearity file, and now I will run the regression here. So for the regression, you have to go to the Analyze tab, and then there is an option regression, right? In the regression tab, you will find the linear. So I will click on the linear regression. Now this dialog box or this particular box will be open. Now they are asking for the dependent variable and independent variable. So I'm sure that now you all are clear with the dependent and independent variable. So my dependent is miles per gallon. I can change the names because it was showing the labels before. So by right clicking, you can change the name. I want the variables name, so it will be converted in the variables. If you want the labels name, you can right click and check the labels name, right? So it has been converted. Now in the dependent, I will take the miles per gallon. My independent variables are all three variables are my independent variable. So you can take at once. Done. Now in these statistics, you can leave for now all these things. I will explain few things later on. Plots and save. There is an option of save. If you click on the save here, now it will open like this. And in the save, they are asking for the predicted values, residuals, distance, influence statistics, prediction intervals, and so on. There are many options. Now, could you please tell me what is the save option? What is the meaning of this particular save option? Like if you are using the SPSS, So can you please tell me the use of this save option? There are some chats. Okay. What will be the value of PC in case of no correlation? PC is what? These stars on values for correlation is defined by us. Pearson correlation. Okay, okay, yeah. What will be the value of Pearson correlation in case of no correlation? Is it 1? In case of no correlation, you will find 0, right? Because the value of correlation lies -1 to +1. So less than 0, it will show the negative correlation, and more than 0 up to 1, it will show the positive. Yeah. Tejinder Kaur is asking, these stars on values for correlation is defined by us. Which stars? Actually, I am not able to understand. Please repeat the steps. Shubhas, sir. Okay, okay. So for the linear regression, you simply go to analyze. There is option regression and choose the linear regression. Done. Now you can opt the MPG for dependent, and all these are my independent variables. So I can take as an independent variable on table, sir, which you mentioned in the correlation table. Okay. These stars. Okay, okay, okay. First question is defined by us. These stars actually correlation is significant at the 0.01%, right? They are asking for the level of significance level. So if you want to change the significance level, simply style option. Actually, it has to be defined by you only, right? It shows only the correlation, nothing else. So at the yeah, correlation at significant at the 0.01 level, you can say, right? Now I will go to my again the same linear regression. This one, MPG is my dependent variable, and all three are my independent variable, right? And nothing else you need to do right now. They are asking for the method also. So there are 4-5 methods: enter, stepwise, remove, backward, and forward method. So I will explain enter and stepwise method. All three are more or less same method, but enter and stepwise are different, right? So enter method is the very common method, and stepwise I have already explained you. If you want to remove the multicollinearity with the help of regression, then only we will use the stepwise. It will automatically kick out the that variable which creates the multicollinearity in your data, right? At the end of we will do this, but right now I will take enter method because this is a very common or very simple method. Now click on OK. In the output tab, you will find some results. My regression result has been done. Now model says there are some values has been calculated: R square, adjusted R square, and standard error, ANOVA, coefficients, right? So here in total you will get the 1, 2, 3, and 4 table, right? So here I have run the multiple correlation. Make sure. But before explaining the multiple correlation, I will run the only bivariate relation first of all, bivariate regression first of all. So I will remove this and this. I will take only MPG as a dependent and engine displacement as an independent, right? Now I was talking about the save option, save button. Basically save option, if you check any of the option here in the save button, like if I opt this and this, you will get the values in your input view, this one. so that, like, they are asking for the predictive value and residuals. So let us check the standard unstandardized and unstandardized for the residuals. What is unstandardized? Unstandardized is the basically actual value. Standardized is, this is your Z score, right? So in the regression, I do not need right now the Z score. I can take the actual value. Actual value means basically what is the regression? Regression shows the predicted value. Sorry, it shows your, yeah, the equation of regression. Let me clear you first of all. What is the regression equation? This is y equals to a plus bx, right? In this equation, what is my a, what is b, and what is x? A is my independent variable. Sorry, this is my intercept. B is slope, correct? And x is my independent variable. So this is the basically your regression equation. You will a is intercept, b is slope, and x is your IDV, independent variable, right? Now what does it mean? Y is what? Y is my dependent variable, correct? So with the help of all three things, all three things, IDV, slope, and intercept, you will get the dependent value, dependent variable, correct? Let's take the example of advertising and sales. So in the advertisement or sales, like sales and advertisement, advertisement is IDV, correct? And sales is my dependent variable, DV. So if I put the equation y equals to a plus bx, x is what? This one, let's say 20 multiplied by b, slope, whatever the slope, suppose 2.5, plus intercept value, suppose 110.5, and you will get the your actual sales, your actual sales, correct? But in this particular option where I'm talking about, it shows the predicted value. Predicted value means this is my actual sales and what was my prediction about this sale. Like if it comes 200, right? If I solve the equation for an example, and you will get the 200 is your y, and y is what? This is your sales. Now what was your prediction about the 200? Did you predict 200 or have you predicted the 180 or 210? So this is your unstandardized value, correct? It may be less than or greater than the actual value. Hope I am clear to everyone. This concept has been cleared or not? Please let me know in the chat box so that I can move forward or repeat. Okay, thank you. Once again, repeat. Okay, actually, all right. So my example is sales and advertisement. Advertisement is my IDV and sales is my DV. So the equation is y equals to a plus bx. Here I am talking about only general equation. I will not take any error term in this equation, right? Okay. So x is what? Advertising value, right? So my advertising value is suppose 20. B is my slope. It is 2.5. I am randomly taking the value. A is what? Intercept. Suppose this is 110 point something. By calculating all these things, suppose you are getting 200, and this is your actual sales. This is your what? This is your y. You will get the y, and y is my dependent variable. So my y is 200. That means my sales is 200. Correct. Now the question is, what did you predict the 200 before analyzing the actual sales? Have you predict 200 or you predict 180 or 210 or 200.5 something, right? So this is your predicted value, and this is what? This is your unstandardized predicted values, correct? Now what is residuals? Residuals, residuals means simply the difference between actual and predicted. So here the difference is 200 minus 180 if 180 was the prediction. So you will get 20. So that 20 is your residual. Right. We will take this also in the Excel sheet if time permit me. Right now you can just leave all this calculation. Okay, thank you. Now for the time I can check both option, standardized, unstandardized, residual and predicted value, and you can continue here. So make sure you are taking only one independent variable, right? Just click on OK. Now you will get the complete regression model, bivariate regression model. Okay. Now what is this R square, adjusted R square? Can you please tell me what is the R? Any idea? What does it meaning of this particular R? The R is 0.788. What does it mean? What does this R shows? No. R is not the residual value. In the regression model, yeah, correct. So R is your correlation, right? This capital R, yeah, the correct name is correlation coefficient, right? So this is your correlation. The capital R is free from plus minus. Make sure it is capital R and this is free from plus and minus. It is modulus kind of thing, right? So it is minus 7, sorry, it is 0.788. Now you can also check from the correlation table. Here I have calculated the correlation of MPG with engine displacement. MPG with engine displacement, and you will find the minus 788 was there. All right. So it shows the negative correlation, and I told you that capital R is free from the minus plus value. So value is correct, right? Now what is R square? R square is my regression value. It is 0.628. It is 0.628, and adjusted R square is 0.620, or 62%, you can say, right? See, there is a tendency in regression. If we increase the predictor R square, uh, okay, let me explain one more thing first. Yeah, so we generally take the adjusted R square because adjusted R square helps you to define or to predict the value of the next value, to predict the next value, right? And I was talking about the regression tendency. If we increase the predictor, R square increases, right? If we increase the predictor is what? Independent variable. Make sure predictor is what? Independent variable. If we increase the independent variable, R square increases even if there is no contribution of that variable in the model. Make sure, right? So remember this thing. If you increase the independent variable, so in this case my independent variable is only one, engine displacement. If I increase the independent variable, suppose I take one more independent variable in this model, so R square will be increase. Right now it is 62%, correct? But if I take one more independent variable, it will be increased. I will show you. Okay, what is the difference between R square and adjusted R square? You see, adjusted R square, uh, this is your correct value. Mostly researchers take the adjusted R square to interpret or to generalize the result, because adjusted R square is free from the your error term, not the exact error term. What I can say, adjusted R square is the modified version of R square. You can simply can understand, right? If you want to predict the value or predict the next value, always take the adjusted R square. what is the regression value and the difference between predicted and observed. Okay, I will explain it after this calculation. Okay, so I request you right now, please keep your question for the end so that I can explain the what I want to explain, right? Otherwise I will miss few things. Now it shows this 62%. Now what does it mean 62? How you can interpret this adjusted R square? 62% means the 62% of the change in MPG, right? 62% of the change in MPG because of engine displacement. That's it. Because it shows my MPG is 62% depend on the uh, engine displacement, my IDV. All right. This is what the meaning of adjusted R square or 62%. Correct. Now, what do you can you say the 62% or the value of adjusted R square is quite acceptable? Because the if you see in the coefficients, the value is significant. You will find the engine displacement is significant. It is less than 0.05. So the value is significant and model says the 0.62. If we take only engine displacement, residuals you can leave it right now. Correct. So if adjusted R square is, see the ideal value, I can write it here. Just wait. The ideal value of yeah, the ideal value of adjusted R square, AR square, should be 60 to 70% minimum. However, it can be more than 70%, right? In the books, generally, the book says about the 100%. You should take the 100%, but in the real life, we cannot see the 100% model because there is no perfection, right? So, what the criteria basically, it should not be less than 60%. If the value of adjusted R square is less than 60%, then you can see that it is not quite worthy and you may leave that variable, right? So the ideal R square value should be more than 60%, at least 60% should be there. Now, what I was saying earlier, yeah, the one more thing, ANOVA, I can also explain the ANOVA. ANOVA in the regression tells us how much the regression has explained, right? And the how much is the residuals is there. So now, do we reflect the residuals in this situation? How do we reflect the situation? Simply ANOVA helps us about the residuals mainly, correct? Because the correct equation of the regression is, you see, the correct equation of regression is y equals to a plus bx plus e, and this e is what? This e is my residual, right? And e is error term, you can also say. So this is the complete equation if you take the residual in your regression. However, if you ignore the error term or residual, you can take a plus bx, but e is also is to be considered if you are talking about the exact value of regression or the correct model, right? So the correct equation is y equals to a plus bx plus e. You can simply say, right? Now, let me show you my PPT for the, okay, yeah. So this is the formula of adjusted R square. If you want to calculate manually or in the Excel, you can calculate. This is the formula, right? 1 minus 1 minus R square and n sample and your predictors minus 1, right? So simply if you can calculate in the Excel, you can do it, right? Yeah. So that is I was just talking about a plus bx plus e. Y is my dependent variable actual, of course, and YC is my predicted dependent variable, right? Predicted value I will show you in my regression. Yeah. So as I opt the option, this one in the linear regression, I was just opt the option of save. Yeah, I checked the standardized and standardized residual and standardized predicted values, right? And I run the model so that I will get the value, this one. This is my predicted value and this is my residual. You will get in the input view, in the data view, in the input file, in the data view, right? You will get whatever you check in the save, you will get in addition in this file. So this is my predicted value, this is my residual. If you add both values, like 16 plus 777 plus 1.22, you will get the dependent value. You will get the dependent value. Let me show you. Where actually I'm taking much time for explaining the regression, because this is actually basic, and basic is important. So y equals to a plus bx plus e, right? And so my predicted value was 16.77. This is my prediction. This is my prediction, 16.77. And what is the accurate result? My actual result is 18. If you see here, this is actual y. This is predicted y, yc, and actual y is 18. So is there gap? Is there any difference? So that difference is called the error, and the difference is something 1.22 you will find. So this is this basically residual. Because I predicted the sales will be 16.77, but I got the sale is in 18. So I predict the wrong, and how much the value I have just wrong. It was 1.22, right? Somewhere you will get the negative also, like this one. See, in the 11th row, you have predicted. Okay, just wait. Hmm, I think they all are below than the actual. Okay, all predictions are below than the actual, almost. Yeah, it is higher than the actual. So in this case, in the 11th row, my prediction was 26.96. I was predicted that sales will be around to 27, but what happened about the sale? It was just 14. It has been reported as 14, right? So the gap is my error, simply. So I have explained the complete equation. I think a, b, x, and e also